Good morning, beautiful you. Welcome back. You're still watching the AM Weekend Show. And you know what time it is? It's time for social media trends. Joining me on this segment is the beautiful or handsome Eliezer. God Divine. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
How you guys doing?
We're fine. I'm okay.
You guys are twinning in black.
Yeah.
Looking beautiful. I love your dress, Divine. It's beautiful. I love the flower. And Ellie, long time no see you.
We're also twinning.
Yeah.
We're twinning in shoes.
Yeah.
That cannot relate.
No, you cannot.
Straight bullets.
I'm throwing straight bullets at her.
It's really good to have you back, Eliezer.
Thank you so much. It's great to be back.
So going to the first story because we don't have so much time. Aproko Doctor, let me just give you a backstory. Aproko Doctor came out on the internet yesterday to tell or advise adults to stop calling kids my husband or my wife, using the term my husband or my wife. You know, he said it's an abuse, right? And one thing will lead to another. So before we take the comments, let's have the video on screen, please.
If you're an adult, then I need you to stop referring to other people's children as my husband or my wife. Hey, how come me? How owe me? Stop it. They are children. They are not your spouse. And please, if you're a parent, don't let anybody be comfortable calling your children my husband or my wife. Because that's where it takes start. That's how it usually starts. If you know, you know. If you're an adult, then I need you to stop referring to.
Yeah, you've seen the video of Aproko Doctor talking about that. Before I get your opinion, because I know Eliezer wants to say something, Ogo wants to say something, and you also want to say something. But let's take a few comments before we move into it. So, Kila Muwayi on Twitter says, "Bele my dear," with a sticker of a Yoruba auntie. One Gentle on Twitter says, "Some are not just right, while some is just out of real love for their children." Moving forward, Chiamaka says, exactly, it's from clap that dance used to start. That's a verbal abuse, but nobody's talking because social norms and tradition has forced us to believe it's a pet name. Prince Will Ibe says, absolutely vital advice. Such jokes blur healthy boundaries and can subtly shape a child's understanding of relationships in ways that aren't age appropriate. The last comment we have here is from Corporate Fat Cat says, advice are too much for this country. So this has caused quite a number of people, I would say more on the positive side, people were coming to say, yes, it's true. Why some like we read the comments of some people, they said, no, it's really nothing. I don't know why everybody feels it's a thing. But would you be comfortable allowing an outsider, when I mean an outsider now, just outside the comfort zone of you, your wife, and your kids, to call your son or your daughter, oh, my husband, my wife, and they tell you, oh, we're just playing, it's just a joke. Let's start from Eliezer. Eliezer, what do you think? Would you allow that happen?
It's interesting because I think before now, it was the norm, and then now it's changing. So I think with things like this, it's always going to change. But it still boils down to intentions, why they are calling this person this. And for me, it's like a zero-sum game. Like, if you call them by their name, as opposed to using this platitude, there's no give to it. So if you call them Amaka instead of my wife or husband, what I can understand is that at the end of the day, and that's something I want to balance out, at the end of the day, if you extrapolate further, when abuse starts to happen, it can still be clothed under, oh, but he calls me my wife or my husband. I think that's the argument, right? But for me, I think as parents, we should just communicate better with our kids so that they're able to set stronger boundaries. I don't think it's in the terminology or in naming that boundaries start to get blurred. If you communicate with your kids properly, anything that starts looking fishy, you say, Daddy, this is happening, Mom, this is happening. So this is still very symptomatic. Oh, don't call them our wife or my daughter, or you know, it's still very simple. Like we're still treating the symptoms as opposed to like the underlying thing. The underlying thing is still creating an environment of safety and
for kids,
open communication for kids, so that if any lines start to get blurred, they can now tell you that the line is getting blurred. I think it's a reach though to say that, oh, from this clap, this clap is our wife, and then dance, you know, it's just all muddled up in my head, to be fair.
Right, that's what you think of it. But don't you feel like these things lead to abuse? That's where abuse starts from. Because the comments I read from Chiamaka, she said it's from club that dance used to start.
Yeah.
Don't you think it leads to abuse? Like it gives an open room, an open window to sexual abuse or for kids.
Yeah, but that's now blocked if there's open communication with you and your kids.
Yeah.
So that when that's supposed to happen, mommy, this person did this, you understand? And then I think it's still the prerogative of you as parents to be able to discern if you want certain family friends to call them my wife or my daughter, that's on you understand? If you don't want that, that's also on you. But I don't know whether there's a straight line from this to that. There's no data to back it. It's still all on the vibe thing.
Yes.
Really leads to
I don't know there's a straight line. I can get being comfortable and trying to establish boundaries, but I don't know that there's a straight line from there to that. So I think we should have stronger systems from parenthood. Let your kids feel comfortable talking to you. Stuff is happening. If it looks like anything is bad, let them be able to have that open because things that are going to happen can happen sans calling you my wife or my daughter.
My husband, yeah.
And then it's also around the intentions. You can always have a conversation to know why or where this is happening from.
I go around with what you said, Eliezer, but I have a different opinion. But let's hear from you, Ogo. What do you think?
It's just what he said. You just explained everything. I feel like most of us grew up having one person or the other call us wife,
husband, yes.
But I understand that things are changing. The generations are changing. So this particular season and time, it doesn't sit right with a lot of persons, and I don't think it sits right with me as well. A random person calling my child
my husband or my wife,
and also just like Aproko Dr. mentioned, it can lead to abuse. Start from there, because people's intention can be dark to a large extent.
So you believe
but it's important, I think. I think that it can lead to
abuse.
Start from somewhere, because if the child becomes comfortable with being around you because you pet them, you call them that name, and probably you're doing something extra for them as your wife or as your husband, right? So it can lead to, from them being comfortable around you, they can go ahead and think that that's the normal thing around you. Maybe when stuff begin to happen. So I feel like open communication, parents should do the work of making sure that their children can communicate easily.
A good relationship.
Happens, right? So that they know that even there are children that can randomly just come home and say that something like this happened.
Their kids are actually that
open. Even knowing how deep it is, because you've created that room of having great conversation with them. So I think the parents need to do the work as well.
So Divine, what are your thoughts on this?
Like I said earlier on the show, funny enough, we talked about it earlier on the show. And I always hated it. I mean, the fact that we're saying now people don't accept it. When I was younger, there was this man that used to come.
I'll marry you.
I don't even know if I had antagonism against men at the time, but I hated him with so much passion. And now thinking about it in our day, I feel like I have a problem with the person calling it. Because I'm a human being now. I'm imagining myself looking at
a child.
Who will I use now? And calling my husband. Am I daft? Is there something wrong with me? I mean, I can't even as play, as joke. It's cringe-worthy. I'm so ill. Like, why? It feels like I'm abusing the child already. I'm telling you, sometimes, even as adults, we're young adults here, you know how it feels. I don't know about guys, because guys, for them, it's like they date this way. When it comes to age. For ladies, there's a way someone younger than you will come around. Like, sometimes you could understand, okay, he's mature. It's when you start seeing that the guy is mature, okay, the age does not really matter, you start to reconsider. But in other cases,
like
you feel no.
Like
and even for guys too, for some guys, even if you want to date someone who is lower than you in age, there's an extent you cannot go.
There's
a limit if you're a normal person.
You will tag the pedophile though.
Do you get me? So why will an adult, you say a child, you say from where to where? What happened to friend? What happened to my friend?
What happened to their names?
Their names, actually.
Maybe we're asking for too much. You want to be nice.
There is nothing wrong.
What happened to any other thing? You say, now I'm thinking about
or calling them a sweet name is also acceptable. But my thoughts on this
that sweet name go get me to go.
My thoughts on this are these things actually lead to abuse. It might not be a straight line like you said earlier, but some adults are really, really crazy upstairs. Like people have crazy thoughts, right? From that they'll start fantasizing, how do we think abuse starts? It doesn't just start in one day. It
starts with grooming.
It starts grooming, like you grow it till you get to the point where, you start touching the child inappropriately, right? And they can't talk. and it leads to rape and all those bad, scary, traumatic memories that the child would just have to live with for the rest of their life. But having a communication or having a conversation or a good relationship with your family, or the parents having a good relationship with their kid, or their kids, it creates that boundary. It helps them understand that, there's this video I saw where you tell kids, if somebody touch you here is bad, good touch and bad touch. My cousin did that with his daughter, right? Good touch and bad touch. When you start putting those things in their head, that person calling them, my wife, or it could be anybody around the circle or around the environment, and touches them inappropriately, they are able to run to you as a parent and tell you, mommy, daddy, this person touched me in the not good touch, the bad touch area and all that. So I believe families parents need to do better. Communicate with your kids, please. Create that relationship. It's very, very important. And tell them you love them every single time. Because trust me, they don't want to lack love from home. Yeah.
So but I just think that it's creepy as in ill.
Yes.
Like Divine has said, you understand. But at the end of the day, we also need to create proper familial institutions where they can communicate. Because if we say, don't call them darling, there's still the major part.
There are many people who have abused without calling them.
So it's disgusting in the sense that pedophilia, come on, right? But I feel like the conversation is now moving from there's still the underlying.
The name calling is not the issue.
It's not the issue
from somewhere.
He's not saying, from what I understand about Aproko Doctor, he's not saying that the name is the problem. He's just saying that the name attributes, it contributes. It leads to things it could lead to things like that. Let's not generalize for everybody though. It could lead to things like that, and it gets really, really bad. But you're right though. You're very correct, but Sha not a straight line, Sha.
No, but I think I also get your points as well. I get the point.
So moving forward to the next, to the second story, Raya, we all know Raya now. Raya, the NYSC girl. No, the NYSC girl that came, that talked about the prices of things and how bad the economy is, and they seized her certificates, NYSC saga. So she came out yesterday to say, she tweeted, she said 15 passengers were kidnapped by Sea Express from Calabar to Uyo last week Thursday. One of them was a copper who was going for his clearance. Today is 1 week, no contact has yet been made. People from home just told me about this. We don't know what they have done with them. So before we talk about this story, I'll take a few comments, because this is about to be a very long and emotional one. It's been an emotional week for me though. But from Creative Oliver says, this country is finished, bro, and your president came to give a mumu speech and said security is 100, ? Moving forward to the next comment, Ayomi_X says, I'm still waiting to see the main point of NYSC program. That has to be the most useless program to do. Now, wow, this guy get mancha. Markle_02 says, I have actually turned down so much contract interstate, all because I am scared of getting kidnapped. Imagine going to do what makes your life better and you get kidnapped without guarantee of getting freed, even after paying ransom. May God help us all. Move forward to Era_Guns. Escape, he said escape the metrics, which I actually understand though. Diane_ on Twitter, this is our last comment though. She says, wow, kidnapping is now a daily job. It's now a daily job, as in a question mark. There was a country. That was how she ended it. So we could track this story, we could connect it with what has been happening for the past few days in the country. This Uyo incident that Raya gave on the internet, backtrack it to when Somi, we lost a presenter in the space, in the media space. Somi Maduagu died of, she jumped off, robbery. She jumped off a window. Even though people are saying it's not the truth, though, but the reason why I believe it is because families and friends, they came on Twitter to confirm that. Even though hers is 2, she was denied medical attention when she was taken to the hospital because they were asking for an ID before they could work on her. That aside, that is also insecurity. And this was even in the heart of Abuja, right? Tracing it to the insecurities, the killings of Christians that have been happening in the Middle Belt and the North. It's really, really bad. And it boils down to the same question: how did we get here?
How did we
honestly get here? And what can we do differently to change these narratives? Like, what can we do differently to secure our country? And everybody's being really scared. And it's more like everything is happening one after the other, like all in 1 week. And we're supposed to be celebrating independence, or we're supposed to celebrate independence. I didn't even pay attention to it. I did not pay attention to it. So my question is, how do we solve issues like this? How do we go about it? What do we do? Eliza, what do you think?
This is like a governance issue at the end of the day, because people tend to do things like this when crime is on the rise, when there's no money in circulation. And it's basic economics. If people had jobs they were doing, if there was cash flow in the economy, people would not kidnap or ransom. That's one. The other thing is systems. In the United States, kidnapping is a federal offense. So if you kidnap and you cross state lines, it's a federal offense. It's an FBI issue that's going to be on your case. They track you at least 25 years in prison. But now you're in a country where there's not enough money rotating around. There's institutionalization of this doubt because some politicians use them to do their biddings. You understand? So it has become a feature as opposed to a bug. Like, we're not even interested in solving it. The solution is to leave this country and go to a country that works. Because we're not even interested in solving it.
Exactly. That's what I was telling Divine earlier on the show. We talked about, at some point during newspaper review. It's so sad that, every single time you read the newspaper, you're seeing one attack or the other, one terrorism.
Every day.
And these ones are the ones that made it on the newspaper or on media. There are other things happening without even anyone hearing about it. So how do we solve these issues? Like you said now, one of the solutions is to leave Nigeria. How many people can afford living Nigeria?
Living Nigeria with the passport thing we talked about the other day.
At the end of the day, if you leave Nigeria, it's still not your country.
It's still
You're still from here. So how do over 200 million people that we are in Nigeria
leave the country?
So how do we solve our problems? How many people will live in that 200 million? So the people left behind,
how many people have the funds to leave?
In this, that's the temporary solution.
It's
not. I don't know. It's really sad.
Personally, just say first off, I'm tired of talking about Nigeria's issues.
Insecurity.
It's draining. It's tiring.
But I just want to say, if because we've talked about this thing, there are ways that these people track. Just say something against the government now. The same riot. You remember the heavy
that was put on her
for what
by local
she said.
government.
We can do it like
NYSC.
They can just do it like this, and they'll find these people. But they're refusing to. If they're refusing to, that's okay. Scrap NYSC. That's my opinion. That's my candid opinion. Because the truth is, insecurity has made people not to travel. I can't remember the last time I went to see my parents. You think about it, you just stay one place.
Want to stay one place,
So let's remove the whole traveling. Let people go to where they are sure they are safe. If from here to Anambra is safer for me, let me go. They should find. It's either you scrap it entirely or you do it in such a way that people choose where is safer for them at this point.
Instead of relocating them. So are we agreeing, or are you saying rather, this to you, Divine, are you saying that stories like this or news like this has become, so non-shocking, because we've seen it too much, it occurs all the time in Nigeria, it becomes less, we react less to it because it's something we see all the time. Is that what you're saying? Have we become so used to it, desensitized to these stories? Have we become so used to it that we don't even see it as a news anymore? It's everyday.
I'd say that becoming used to it, I'd say to an extent, yes, because we're seeing it every day. But the reaction does not reduce. The hurt does not reduce.
It still hurts.
So we're just getting to a place where we just want to find a solution, the best solution around. And that's where I am right now. Because I am not in a position to track. It's not me that will track.
You're not the government. That's
You're not the government.
So my advice is to every other person, stay safe.
Do as much as you can.
As you can.
Save yourself.
This Somi Madagu's death that happened, that I tracked it with, right? it's insecurity, robbers into a house, into a compound, and that happening. It's and even in the heart of Abuja, you heard of the story, right?
Yeah,
it's really, really painful. I don't like doing social media trends, feeling so sad, though. I felt really bad. Yeah, we've run out of time, and I'm so sorry. I'm not like super happy today because the stories on the internet is it's really it hurts too much. I tried my best to be happy though, but yeah, I'm sorry I can't. I try, but yeah, thanks for staying with us for the show. And if you missed the show from the beginning with Ogo and Divine, you can always refer back to our YouTube. Why do I keep having problems with my words like that?
You got this.
Thank you so much, and see you next weekend. I am Luke, Ijoma Luke, actually. Yeah, signing out.
My name is Divine Onoha. To have a lovely week ahead. And my name is Ogochukwu Osai. See you next week, Saturday.
And my name is Eliezer Aja Okada Forever.
Thank you, and good morning.